Good evening, everybody. Jason J.D. Rutherford here with an excerpt from Dear Mom, Dear Son, separated by bars, not the heart. First off, let me start by saying Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there for Sunday. Especially those of you that are separated from your loved ones, either through incarceration, military service overseas, or maybe they're just living far away from you and they can't be by your side for this Mother's Day. Just a shout out to all of you from all the men and women that are incarcerated in the prisons in the United States, and they have a mother out there that loves them and misses them very much, and Mother's Day is a very hard time for them in there because they're scrambling around trying to find you gifts because they can't get you C's candy, or they can't buy you flowers or anything else, or even show up and maybe have a barbecue at your house. Speaking from experience, I've been incarcerated several times over a course of several years, decades actually. And I always knew that I had to hurry up and scramble around and chase the artist that was on the tier or on the block to draw me up a beautiful card for my mother for Mother's Day. So this is actually an additional gift that you may receive, because I'm sure there's some of you mothers out there that have received some of these cards. Some of these handmade cards that somebody had done for them on the tier, and they mailed it off to you. So, in addition to that, I would like to say, speaking on their behalf, Mama, I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for staying by my side. And the gift that I'm going to give to all of you right now is I'm going to read you an excerpt from me and my mother's book, Dear Mom, Dear Son. And first, I'm going to start out by reading the commentary before the poems, before the letters, so it could give you kind of an insight into what's going on, a little clear as to what the thinking was and what we were going through. This exchange right here was in regards to who was important to me. All the people that I thought were my homies, my friends on the streets, turned out to be not very important to me. And I found that out, because I finally realized when I wrote this poem that they didn't have my back. My mother, my family is the one that had my back. So just listen to this exchange real fast, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you can feel all the emotion and everything that we were going through, and you could relate to it in some way. I'm going to do this to one of my mother's favorite songs. My mother was a hardcore Beatles fan. So one of her favorite Beatles songs was Hey Jude. Paul McCartney sung it, and it was one of her favorite songs. So I'm going to play it as I read these excerpts, and I hope that it doesn't drown it out. So here we go. So here we go with the first part of this. So this was me writing this commentary. The sun. The sun rises and it sets each and every day. Through the dirty glass and bars of my window, I can see the earth's shining source of power illuminate the day. It strolls the yard with us. It does not share the yard, for it is everywhere. It is not isolated to the yard, for it moves from one end of the penitentiary to the next, jumping all fences of barbed wire and electricity. It is not a prisoner as I am, but it does not turn its back on me because I am a prisoner. My mom's response. The mother. Years slipped away from him. The time he did removed not only his body from society, but his mind and understanding as well. All his nieces and nephews grew up until he could no longer recognize them anymore. His own mother grew older and older as well. His friends on the streets, his peers, either suffered the same fate as him, died, or moved on with their lives. But that's life, and that's the part of life I think he doesn't understand. So here was the poem that I wrote for that exchange. Dear Mom, I thank the God within myself that your heart is strong. How is it that so many others seem to have it wrong? Locked away, far away in a cell I stay. I watch the sunrise and set another day. Where are all my friends, my peers, my homies on the streets? These are the thoughts I have at night as I lay between the sheets. Where are they? Why does no one seem to care that I am trapped between these mountain peaks that is the devil's lair? I risk my life for others, my freedom just the same, to have the back of so-called friends that play a Judas game. It's hard to trust, even harder to believe, that there's some good left in this world that's made so many grieve. If I can't help but to think, as cynical as it is, we're born alone and die alone, and that's just the way it is. Love your son. So my mom had a response to that. It was pretty short, sweet, and to the point. Dear son, we're not born alone, nor die alone, for your Lord is always there to help you over stony paths and heal our dark despair. There are ones that care for us, but some will turn their backs. Do not think the worst of them for feelings that they lack. I know the life that you've lived has made you how you are. It's hard to trust and believe in others when both can leave a scar. But do not let your anger live or have that final say, or it will rule your very soul and lock your heart away. With love, your mom. It's always hard for me to read these, but I'm going to find the strength, and I'm going to continue to read these to you all the way until Sunday. I'm going to find a couple more, but I miss her, and you know, I know that she's proud of me, and I know she's with me and through all this, and just so many wonderful things, so many remarkable goals I have beyond this. I mean, I want to give back. I want to contribute in some way to break this cycle, to keep the next kid from going down the path that I went, from letting them understand that the lifestyle is not what you think it is. It's not what it's cracked up to be at all. And it took me several years to learn that, and I learned it, and here I am. I mean, I believe that I have the recipe and the formula for success. Circumstances of me getting out was I lost my mother 6 months before I was released, give or take a few days, a couple of weeks, give or take. And I just made a promise, and I knew that no matter how hard it was going to be, I was going to survive. I was going to make it. And I got dropped in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with $38 and the shirt on my back. I'm not from Oklahoma. I've never lived here. Don't know anybody here. My only connection to Oklahoma is the bank that I robbed in El Reno. Because my mother died and I had nowhere to go, I was forced to come back to the state, to the jurisdiction of the crime. And I'm a California boy, born and raised. Lived a little while in Texas, never been in Oklahoma. Didn't even know which direction north, south, east, and west was. But I figured it out, and I made it. I stayed strong. I kept my head held high, and I did it. I got 2 jobs. I go to full-time school, and I got a house, a car. I'm doing great. And I believe that I can help others. I can point them in the right direction if I'm just given a chance. This book right here is the beginning of something great. It's not about selling books at all. That's not what this is all about. This is all about reaching people and finally putting an end to this insanity that causes so much pain. Because I don't need to sit here and shed tears knowing that my mother died before she saw the success and that she saw her son make it. But I could live by helping others not put their mothers through the same things that I put them through. And I just want to say, from the bottom of all our hearts, that I'm very sorry that all of you had to go through that. I'm very sorry that you've been put through this. And know that you're appreciated and you're loved. And where this goes from here is I plan on, starting a nonprofit. I plan on working with kids, at-risk youth, gang members, people that are addicted to drugs that can't get right. I mean, I believe that I have a formula and a recipe for success. I believe that I can help people, and that's really the goal. So we can all make a difference if we all work together. We get all these groups together and we get people together and we advocate. We go up into the halls of Congress and we lay out like what we think that we could do to end this mass incarceration that's in our country. And that's pretty much all I have to say. If you are interested in purchasing a copy of Dear Mom, Dear Son, you could do so by going to Amazon.com or Kindle Unlimited. It's available on Kindle in a paperback or ebook, and it's available in paperback through Amazon.com. Follow the link that's attached to this video, and it'll take you directly to the page that you can purchase the book. With that, I will see you next time for the next excerpt. You guys have a great night.